Hi, I'm Deb Sirman from Greenland Garden Centre, and this is our family dog and new Greenland greeter, George. And we love George. He's been with us only since December, and he was a surprise addition to our family. But we also have some other surprises, which I know that you are probably getting in your backyard. If you have a version of George or any other dog that probably pees on the grass. Even though I try to take George out first thing in the morning so that his big pee is always on the pavement or somewhere else, apparently his piddle has a lot of salts in it and he's done a lot of damage. So I am here to show you how to fix them because that's my job. It's the beginning of May and let's get going on it. What happens when you're getting this yellow spot or this one or the other 20 that are in my yard is when the dog pees, he actually almost burns the grass. It's with salts from his urine that's doing the damage. So what we want to do is try to move away those salts, because if we just kind of have that area and we throw down some grass seed, it's absolutely not going to work. We need to get rid of the salts for the grass seed to germinate. So I like to just wait till it's about this point where we're in early May now and the grass is nice and dry. I can see where the damage is. And I just use my trusty Garden Bandit. It's still my favorite tool. I use it for weeding, but I also use it just to quickly scrape up all the dead grass. Just like this, so that I can get down to the soil level. There is not going to be anything growing in there until I fix it up. So the Salt Stopper is a product that is basically a gypsum-based product. And what I do is I just sprinkle it down on every area and I water it in really well. And I'm just going to let that soak for a minute. And what it's going to do is, as it's watered, it's basically going to take those salts that have done the damage away from the roots of the grass and effectively shoot them into the soil. It's very difficult to remove salts otherwise, so that's why this product works so well. So what we're going to do next is actually add some grass seed to this. And what I like to do is do what I call a seed sandwich. And there's a couple reasons for it. So the sandwich part, the bread part, is soil, and it could be anything. It could be topsoil, it could be soilless mix. I usually use whatever bag I have open from last year. In this case, I have some Pro Mix here that I'm gonna use. And what I'm gonna do is just sprinkle it down, just a very light layer. That's gonna give it a little base for it. And I'm using a product called Revive and Thrive. This is actually one that we make right at Greenland. The reason I love it so much is it's got a high quality grass seed. And then what it also has is dehydrated compost. So just sprinkle a little bit on there. The compost is actually the black stuff that's in there, and it's dehydrated. So what's going to happen is as I water, it's going to puff up and it's going to add organic matter. It's just going to help moisturize that area and also just get some nutrients and some good organics going into where the grass is. So what I've done is I've put down the grass seed, and then my other part of my sandwich is just the top of the. So again, just a very, very light mixture, and I just pat it down. So at this point, again, I would give it another light watering. The reason I'm doing the top layer, I think it's actually more important than the bottom one, is because when it's windy, and we know it gets so windy, what we do is we like to make sure that we have the grass seed really nicely embedded into the soil. Birds absolutely love grass seed and they're very hungry at this time of year. So oftentimes people think their grass seed didn't germinate, but if they didn't cover it up, it's probably because the birds ate it. And then it also creates that extra moisture, as I said. So it's actually a big benefit. So that's it. That's all I'm going to do is leave it like that. Maybe put down a tiny bit more soil because I see a lot of the grass seed on there. So the reason that grass seed doesn't germinate oftentimes is it's not watered often enough, or it's not warm enough. So I will give this grass seed a light sprinkle every day because that's going to help it germinate. And if the temperatures are 6, 7, 8 degrees at night, it'll start to germinate. But if it's cooler, it may not. So depending on what Mother Nature brings me, I may see some grass starting to come up within 7 to 10 days. But if it stays cool, I might not see it for another couple of weeks. So you have to be very, cautious in regards to that and not be too impatient, because it does take, in Alberta, it takes a little bit longer to germinate. The next question that we get is, so should I fertilize? And yes, it's fine to fertilize. This is a great time of year. What a lot of people don't realize is that they should be using a high middle number fertilizer, more of a turf starter type fertilize, not something with a high first number. So the one that I am going to be using is the Scott's Turf Starter. The numbers on it, let me just see, 24, 24, 25, 4. That middle number is nitrogen, so it's going to help things green up, but that middle number is the magic. 25% phosphorus means that that phosphorus will help on root development. And root development on grass is crucial at this time of year. It's actually even more important than greening it up. So don't pop on any 3400 at this time of year. Let those roots regenerate slowly with a turf starter fertilizer, because that middle number is really going to make a big benefit. We also carry organic-based fertilizers where alfalfa is the natural root stimulant. So if you're wanting something organic, you certainly can go to that. This is synthetic, but it's slow release and it's very, very safe to use, and it'll last a very long time. So I'm going to keep on working here. I've got lots to do, but it's a beautiful day. I don't mind being out in the yard at all. And hopefully within a couple of weeks, my dear George will not have evident damage here. And as I say, the most important thing is to try and get those dogs out away from your grass for their big one in the morning, because then over the day when they drink water, it's more diluted. And finally, make sure you put down salt stopper before the snow falls, because you will see a lot less damage if you're actually applying it in the fall as well as the spring. I'm going to also put it all over the grass because I don't know where he's going to go, so there's going to be a broadcast spread, just like the fertilizer. And that's it. So now you know how to fix your dog damage, and I don't know about that squirrel that he's chasing. I don't know how well that's going to go, but George is having a great time just being outside with us today.